Welcome to From the Press Box. I'm Lauren Fluker.
And I'm Jamal Williams, and we have a jam-packed show for you today, so let's jump right into it.
The New York Jets squeaked out a victory over the Dolphins in Week 3, but at what cost?
Darrelle Revis left the game in the third quarter with a non-contact injury. An MRI confirmed the Jets' worst fear.
Revis will miss the rest of the season with a torn ACL in his left knee.
Revis is known as one of the best corners in the NFL. Can the Jets' defense recover from this kind of loss?
I don't know. They have got Kyle Wilson and they've got Antonio Cromartie, but I don't think they're near as good as Revis. So this is definitely going to be a huge detriment, and their biggest thing now is probably free agency and seeing who they can grab from there.
Yeah, Revis is just an incredible player. The defense is built around this
Exactly.
guy. I really think this loss is going to put pressure on the rest of the players on that defense to step up, but I think it's going to be too much to overcome, and they're going to end up out of the playoffs.
Exactly. In other news, even though it's early in the season, Heisman talk is beginning to heat up, and Florida State quarterback E.J. Manuel is beginning to look like the show dog in the race.
Show dog is right, or at least that's how his coach Jimbo Fisher put it when asked about Manuel's rising Heisman stock.
He said, quote, "Would you rather have a show dog or a hunting dog? If you want to parade him around and do all that, fine. I'd rather have a hunting dog."
I'd rather have a hunting dog too, but if you can have both, why not? If E.J. Manuel can continue to play at a high level, he very well could win the Heisman, and Florida State looks poised to make a run at a BCS title.
Now let's turn our attention to the Olympics. Yes, they're over, but Kerry Walsh is in the news again.
Kerry Walsh had one child for each of her first 2 gold medals. So when she won her third in London, it's only logical what came next.
She recently announced that she's 11 weeks pregnant. That means that when she won beach volleyball gold in London, she was already 5 weeks pregnant.
So the next question is there a chance for a fourth?
Possibly, but that is one hot mom.
Yeah.
Playing and pregnant. Kerry has already said that she plans to return for the 2016 games in Rio de Janeiro. So it's possible.
Well, let's turn our focus to the NBA, where many in the Laker Nation believe they have an edge heading into the season and will be holding the Larry O'Brien Trophy at the end of the season.
Well, Lakers legend James Worthy thinks otherwise. He said, quote, "I would still have to say Miami has an edge simply because they won last year. It'll be so much easier for them to win again because they know how to do it," end quote.
So, Lauren, who do you think is the best team heading into the NBA season?
The best team. I've got to go with the Brooklyn Nets. They've got Joe Johnson, they've got Gerald Wallace, Chris Humphries, and Darren Williams. Not to mention Brooke Lopez at center. So I think that if they're not the best team, they'll definitely pose a huge threat to the East.
Yeah, the Nets are definitely a talented team. They have a lot of things. They've done some revamping in the offseason. I'm not sure they're going to be able to take out the Heat in the East. But, you know, at least they're not the worst. They're not the Bobcats, so it doesn't matter.
More From the Press Box is straight ahead. Stay tuned.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back to From the Press Box and into a new segment titled Fix It or Leave It. Jamal and I will take a look at a couple of teams and state whether or not a team is broken and needs to be fixed or if it should be left the same. Okay, we're going to get started with the teams that I selected, and I'm going to start off with the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
And this team needs to fix it.
Oh, wow.
My problem with them is that they are a franchise that is known for their legendary quarterbacks in Joe Montana and Stevie Young. So the problem is Alex Smith, who's anything but legendary. Okay, so he's got this strong receiver core in Vernon Davis, who's arguably the best tight end in the league, Michael Crabtree, and then good old Randy Moss. But the problem is they cannot pass that ball to themselves. So they've got to get a better passer. Well, actually, I think that they can keep him because he's got this quarterback rating of 102, but he needs to improve on some things. And one of those things is his hesitation. We've seen early on missed passes to an open Randy Moss, which could have easily been points. And so he's also got this indecisive nature about himself when he should just go with his first mind because he's proven himself worthy by his rating. He's done good, but he can do better. The offensive line is also to blame just a little bit for that in that they can protect Smith more, but for the most part, I think Smith needs to get better because he's the thing that is causing them to be broken, and they need to fix it fast. Okay. All right, so my second team, I'm going to go with the team that is 3-0 in the AFC South. I'm going to go with the Houston Texans. They've got a sound defense, and that is in large part due to Wade Phillips, okay? That's their defensive coordinator, and he used to coach who?
I think it was the Cowboys.
Okay, well, you're thinking right. But they've also got some good guys on offense, too. They've got Arian Foster, they've got Andre Johnson, and they've got Matt Scheib, okay? Matt Scheib also has a quarterback rating of 102. But he's a little bit more consistent, which is why I said that this team needs to stay how it is. They need to leave it. There's been a lot of Super Bowl talk surrounding the Houston's franchise, and I think it's for good reason. They've got a system, and it works, so they need to leave it how it is.
Okay, you've made some interesting points there, so I'm going to go to my two teams now. I have both of the 0-3 teams here, the Cleveland Browns and the New Orleans Saints.
I knew it.
So I'm going to be spending a lot of time over here at Fix It.
That you will.
Well, the Cleveland Browns need to be fixed. They need a physical standpoint. So I'm going to pull out my old trusty hammer here. The physical standpoint of that team is just missing. The offensive line, they're not getting a push on third and short situations. They're only converting 33%. Run block, half the line can do it, and the other half can't. Pass block, half the line can do it, the other half can't. They've got to be consistent. They have a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back. They're lacking leadership on that offense. They have to play better. Look on the defensive side of the ball and the interior of that defensive line. The most important part, they're averaging almost 5 yards per rush to the other team's running back, that is. So they obviously have to improve on that. They have the big guy, Phil Taylor, on PUP, so he'll be back soon. And then on the outside, the cornerback position, Buster Skrine and Joe Hayden, bump and run isn't their thing. They're number 2 and 3 in giving up the most yards and when they come in bump and run coverage. And Buster Skrine, he's a fast guy, so he doesn't need to do that. But Patterson, on the other hand, he is tops in the league in bump and run. So they just need to let him do his thing at the line and step on back. Now we're going to go to my second team here. We have the New Orleans Saints. And I think they just need a little fine-tuning that need to be fixed. They really just, they're lacking a swagger. And Sean Payton is known as one of the more arrogant coaches in the NFL. And that's what that team is missing. They're missing this arrogance. The defense isn't coming out and saying, I dare the offense to come with something we can't handle. And the offense isn't coming out and saying, I dare the defense to come with something that's going to stop us. They're just coming out and kind of, they're not asserting themselves. And you can see players like Drew Brees trying to pick up and give the team that swagger, but he's forcing too much pressure on himself and he's making untimely decisions, such as a pick six that he threw against the Panthers. You can't do that and expect to win. I really think that once they can get a win or two under their belts, the swagger will just kind of come back to them because they do have a lot of veteran leadership and veteran coaches on that staff. But that's something that they definitely need to fix.
Okay, so on the one hand, you have a team that needs confidence and swagger. And then on the other hand, you have a team that lacks veteran leadership. And that's interesting. But we've told you what we think from our observations, but we'd also like to hear from you. Tweet us at FTP_tweets to let us know what you think.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here, and when we get to the other side, we'll have Hurry Up Offense. Stay tuned.
This song was created with heartbeats of children in need. Find out how it can help frontline health workers bring hope to millions of children at everybeatmatters.org.
The 49ers need fixing.
Yes, they do. I think that they are a wonderful team, and they really could be a team that we see go all the way. But again, it's going to take a lot more than that arm that Alex Smith has.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
It's time for us to go into our hurry-up offense, so let's jump straight into the first question.
What wild card team has the best chance of making it to the World Series?
Okay, I have to go with the St. Louis Cardinals. We all know what they've had this season, and they've been missing. They've been missing an ace in that pitching staff, and they recently got Chris Carpenter back from injury. And this is a really good guy. He's going to be that ace for them heading into the playoffs. He's 9-2 in the playoffs, and that's good. This is going to be key. He was a factor in 2012 when they won the World Series, and he's going to be a factor this year.
Okay, and I've got to go with a bit of a Cinderella team in the Oakland A's. Ooh. Nobody predicted that they would get this far, and they've got 17 rookies. And let me just remind you, they're at the bottom of the pay scale. They rank last. So that means there's not a lot of star power on that team. So they're doing considerably well this season. If they can get some timely hitting mixed with some consistent pitching, they could have a gold mine on their hands.
They could, they definitely, but I just think that lack of star power is going to be a little bit too much for them. All right, everyone knows about Alabama, Florida State, and LSU, but what team outside of the top 5 right now has the best chance of winning a BCS title?
Well, Jamal, it's a little early to tell. We could see it more so in October, but if I had to pick now, I would say West Virginia. They're 3-0 now, and their biggest contest is, well, their next biggest contest is going to be against Baylor. They don't have RG3, but it's still going to give us a look at how they're going to fare up in this new conference that they're in. Their senior wide receiver, okay, Tavon Austin. I've seen this kid's highlights. He is good. In addition to Geno Smith, okay, did you see what they did in the Orange Bowl? Geno got 6 touchdowns. Austin got 4. These guys are ready. So I'm going to say West Virginia.
West Virginia's good, and they fit where they are, but as far as a national championship, the talent level is just not there. I saw them struggle against Maryland last week, and I just feel like it's going to be too much. I have to go with an SEC team here, South Carolina. This team, Marcus Lattimore, he's a great running back. He gives them that dimension in offense. And then at quarterback, Connor Shaw, he can manage the game, and he's not going to cost them. And then on defense, that defensive line with Jadeveon Clowney, he's great. He has 4 sacks already this season. That defense is going to carry them all the way to a championship.
Okay, I'm going to end it here. Don't forget, you can like us on Facebook. You can tweet us at FTP_tweets, and you can check us out on YouTube.
All right, this week our moment in sports history is in 1981, Nolan Ryan of the Houston Astros became the first player to pitch 5 no-hitters with a 5-0 victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers.
And don't forget, he's Jamal Williams.
And she's Lauren Fluker.
And this is
From the Press Box.
Jamal, the Seahawks, really?
Yes, they beat your boys.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that how we're doing things now?
I mean, the replacement referees clearly like them too.
Yeah, but I'm concerned about that because one of them is rumored to be a Seattle fan. So what does that say?
That says they paid him a check.